At the close of the Age of Fire, all lands meet at the end of the earth. Great kingdoms and anemic townships will be one and the same. The great tide of human enterprise, all for naught. That's why I'm so taken by this grand sight. This must be what it's like to be a god.
Welcome, everyone, to the Ringed City. So I can show you 10 minutes of this first level, and then I can show you about 5 minutes of the boss. I got this split-leaf greatsword from the Hag just before, and it's really good. Don't judge me. She saw me die. It was embarrassing. She had to go. But as she died, she said something about hoping to see an angel. And it looks like she just missed it. Damn. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's her death that caused this angel to spawn, because I've never seen it here before her death. But we'll talk about the angels more later. The first weapon we have in our sights is the Aquamarine Dagger, which is just beyond this Herald Legion Knight. The Herald Legion, according to their gear, once came here seeking the Dark Soul. However, they eventually sank into the dark, their weapons corroding and their bodies bloating. And we don't know yet, maybe they did find the Dark Soul in some capacity, for their head appears to be this swirling mass of humanity, which, if you jump attack it, can save you a difficult fight. Above is the Aquamarine Dagger, and it has a weapon art that's like Frida's Scythe, where it extends the blade and your moveset at the cost of some movement speed and focus. The dagger reads, "It is fitted with aquamarine crystals and engraved with a prayer in the old tongue to ward off incidents. Perhaps it is a parting gift given to one sent out on great travels." It's quite effective against these mercmen. And the mercmen are like human corpses that are corroded by the dark. Some, as you'll see here, are possessed by soul dregs, which, and I quote, have a grave likeness to the human form. Apparently you can destroy these soul dregs as they fly towards you. Look at this. I only figured this out because I rolled with the Thorns armor on, which does damage when you roll, and that probably would have been really useful information in this scenario. But back to the dagger. I think this will be a top tier weapon in terms of fashion, and in terms of damage, it's pretty great against humanoid enemies because it can stun lock them, but as you'll see during the boss fight later, activating the weapon art can be a bit of a liability. Next, the Angel. If you have a keen eye, then you would have noticed this pillar of light in the distance. It illuminates at the same time the angel appeared. So I ran down there to check it out, and then... this pillar breaks through a cathedral wall and reveals the path to Lap, the amnesiac hollow.
Oh, look at you. You've got your head screwed on correct. Fantastic. To meet a kindred spirit on this god's forsaken crag. Call me Lap. I can't remember my real name, so let's just go with that. I have a feeling we're going to make
He just said we'd make a fabulous team. Where's the teamwork? I feel like it's not in this guy's character to help me. Let's try again.
Team. Oh, you'll see. You'll see. Oh, in all honesty, there's something I should tell you. I'm a hollow. Yes. I try to play it off, but I haven't a clue about my past, who I was, or what I lived for. Not even my own blessed name. That's why I've come here, searching for the Purging Monument. Said to be in the Ringed City, where the pygmies who found the Dark Soul at the Dawn of Fire reside. All I can say is, Those little stones aren't doing much to help me remember anymore.
The little stones he's talking about are obviously purging stones, which are commonly used in Londor to cure hollowing and to stave off the undead curse. And for someone who is as immortal as Lap, whose identity we were pretty sure of in the last video, if you want to spoil it, apparently for him, even these stones stop being effective after a while. Back down below Lap is our original target, which was this thing, which I've started calling the Londor Grower. It's this fleshy parasite that appears to be attached over the shell of a dead pilgrim, and I always assumed that the shells were like those shells that you saw on the blue-robed clerics, which state that the shells keep out the pus of man, which is that black muck that has infested the rest of Lothric. So the fact that this avatar, this parasite, appears over the shell of the pilgrim leads me to believe that whatever this creature is, it's what the pilgrim wanted to become. After all, it's kind of like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly after the cocoon phase. And after all, the pilgrims of Londor, as we learn from Yol, were destined to die and craved death. So perhaps this rebirth into an angel is their goal, and I guess for Hollows, it is a more powerful form, and this certainly is a step forward, at least in terms of evolution. But what is their goal now? That's what we've yet to discover. A bunch more pilgrims can be found in this arena where you fight one more Herald Knight, and beyond this, a drop down into the next zone that I'm not allowed to show you. But I am allowed to show you this.
Far below, there's a deep, dark hole carved out of a tree. From time to time, voices brim from the depths of the cavity even now. Mutterings of the very demon that Prince Lorien spoke of, I'm sure. Horrible sounds of an afflicted thing, yet cursing men.
The Demon Prince. This fight has changed. Where in a previous patch, you were only beset by one demon at the start, now there are two at the start, though I'd argue that they do a bit less damage now, from what I remember. The boss really shouldn't be called a demon from below. It should be called Camera, because that's what you're really fighting. And though it's not a bad fight, it's quite good. It just gets a little too chaotic at times, in my opinion. So the main mechanic when there's two of them is this. When a demon is red, that means it's powered up, and it means that it will tend towards using fire-imbued melee attacks. Eventually, though, it will lose that flame with a slam attack, and then will resort to poison, toxic, and corrosion until it powers up again. And this poison form is where most of your damage should come in, and it's also where the Demon Prince will come out. The Demon Prince, after his defeat to Lorien, retreated beneath the earth and lost the memory of the flame that burned within him, marking the end of demonkind. The weapons from his soul are the last flames kindled by the prince, and with the death of the old Demon King in the overworld, surely these mark the end of chaos and its demons. One fact remains the same here though. Depending on which one you kill first, the moveset of the Demon Prince will change. So if you kill the one on the right, the Demon in Pain, first, you'll face a version of the Demon Prince with laser attacks, and this version is far easier in my opinion because his just don't get hit. And if you kill the one on the left first, the Demon from below, then it will lead to a Demon Prince fight with true Chaos Flame attacks. He summons these orbs that bombard you from a distance, and this meteor storm that I could never effectively dodge. It killed me so hard that it fucking broke my editing software. Ultimately though, this boss is undone by a high stability, high fire resistant shield. You don't even need to dodge, really. Just use the Black Knight shield. So the last thing I want to leave you on is this. I think it's a good statement to go into the DLC with, from a lore point of view anyway. So the Herald Knights came down here seeking the Dark Soul, and they failed. A wanderer, apparently on great travels, was given the Aquamarine Dagger and left it behind. And I think that maybe Prince Lothric might have been here too, since he defeated the Demon Prince before it burrowed deep beneath the ground, nursing its wounds. And of course, Gale is summonable for this fight, and we know why he's down here. All of these people, likely, were here looking for the Dark Soul, and the question becomes, why were they seeking the Dark Soul? What powers does it have, and can it really create a new world, as Gale and Arya hope for? One more week, and we'll know. Thank you for watching. Also, if you want to learn everything we currently know about the Ringed City, albeit without footage to back it up, you can watch this video, and I believe there's a new trailer dropping soon, so go and check that out. Thank you for watching.